For 2019, we're seeing a number of new and innovative tailgates on the market in America after a period where tailgates really just opened like this for years. We now have one in the Ram 1500 here. It opens to the side in kind of an interesting split fashion. So sort of a 60% side right here, and then there's a 40% side right over here. Now you can leave the 40% side latched into place if you want to put something long hanging out of the truck, but you want to hold something else in there, for instance. These doors don't fold completely to the side like barn doors in a large van, but they do come basically straight out of the vehicle, right like that. Now, if you're worried about longevity, then Ram tells us that this will be good for about 2,000 pounds of overall capacity right here on the bed, so hopefully it won't buckle right there in the middle. Now, this is not quite as interesting in my mind as the Multi-Pro tailgate from GMC that does fold a little bit more like origami, but we do have a very handy step right here. But the Multi-Pro tailgate doesn't address something that this tailgate design does. If you want to load something into the bed of your pickup truck with a forklift, like I actually do relatively often, then this is going to be a lot more convenient. If you've ever loaded anything into the bed of your pickup truck with a forklift, you know that you first set it on the tailgate and then you sort of scoot it in time after time using the blades on the forklift, and that's kind of a pain. And it can also scrape up the tailgate and the truck itself. But with this, you can get your forklift a lot closer in. So how much will this baby cost? Well, the option is $995, and it's available on every trim of the 1500, including the base model, which is a little different than we see in some of the competition. It also comes standard with the spray-in bed liner that we're seeing right here on this part, and of course in the bed right over there. So if you were going to get the spray-in bed liner anyway, this is effectively a $795 upgrade, and you can combine it with their Ram Box cargo management system that's integrated into the sides of the bed as well. Over on the GM side, we have an exclusive tailgate only available in GMC pickup trucks, not available in the Silverado at the moment, and only in the SLT, AT4, and Denali trims where it is standard, not optional. It folds in a number of different ways. This is sort of the origami tailgate right here. We can flop down this upper section right here, so that way you can put long items in the bed of the truck and have them not propped up right there on the top of the tailgate. You can also pop up this section right here if you want to retain certain items. Now, if you get the shorter beds in the pickup truck, then this distance between here and the back of the bed is not 8 feet. Keep that in mind. It's right around 6 feet or so. So it's not as handy as I would like. Now, if you were to drop the tailgate with that bottom button, then it comes down as a pretty standard tailgate. We can then hit that button again and then fold that section down if you want to get into the tailgate and into the bed area a little bit easier. But you'll notice that we're still about a foot away from the beginning of the bed, so it's not as close as we see in the Ram pickup trucks. There's another trick here in this step, so we can flop that down, get a step to get up into the bed right like that. And then we have an assist handle that's not part of the tailgate. It's actually part of the bed right there. And the last feature is that we can get an integrated Bluetooth sound system right there integrated into the bed. Now, this does not interact with the infotainment system in the vehicle. It's a separate Bluetooth device that just happens to be powered by the truck. Now let's talk about the downsides. The first and obvious downside is that you can't get as close to the bed as you can in the Ram 1500 truck. And the other downside is that if we leave this assist handle up right here, even with this section open, you can't actually put it down. It ends up bopping the tailgate right there like that. If you're the kind of person that tends to leave your hitch and ball attached to the truck all the time, and you were to deploy this tailgate in that fashion, it will end up bopping the ball, and that will end up denting your tailgate. The last downside is that this tailgate is not available in all trims of the Sierra, and it's not available at all in the Silverado at the moment, although I wouldn't be surprised if this made its way across to the Chevy brand soon. And Ford, well, the F-150 at the moment still has a pretty traditional tailgate right there with their step that we have seen for some time from them. There's a handle that pops out right there, and then you climb onto the bed with that step right there. This feature is something that was seen from Ford for a while and is probably the impetus of the Multi-Pro tailgate that we see in the GMC. If you're tired of lifting a tailgate yourself, Chevy does have a solution for you. You can actually do this via the remote or on the inside as well. It'll actually raise the tailgate for you. The Ridgeline is obviously not a competitor to the Ram 1500 or the Sierra, but we do have an innovative tailgate here. This one folds over to the side as a single piece, not as a 60-40 design like we find in the Ram. That does make it easier to load things into the bed of the Ridgeline. It also allows you to access this in-bed trunk right under here, which is a fairly deep storage well. That's also where they put the spare tire. The first downside you'll notice immediately, of course, is that this does not open as parallel to the cargo bed as we see in the Ram 1500. It also opens as one piece, so it's going to be a little bit harder to deal with if you're in tight confines. You can, however, open it just right like a regular pickup truck tailgate, right like that, but the load capacity is obviously not going to be as high as the next category up, which is that half-ton segment. Everybody else, well, they just have tailgates that just do this. Well, that's been our quick look at the Trick tailgates that are available for the 2019 calendar year. Be sure and let me know which your favorite is down there in the comment section below. I have to say I'm pretty torn between the Rams tailgate and this Multi-Pro tailgate. There are aspects of each that I really like. Personally, I think that the Multi-Pro tailgate would be my winner in this segment if it was available in more trucks, especially if it was also available in the Chevy line. Now, it can't get quite as close to the bed as I mentioned as the Ram pickup truck, but the integrated step and the wide nature of the step I actually find really handy. And I love the fact that you can get that Bluetooth boombox basically built right in as well. Again, let me know what you think about that down there in the comment section below. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already done so, and be sure and check out our other first look videos from the Chicago Auto Show. I'll see you later.